Good morning, everyone. I welcome you all to this 2 days national conclave organized by CPE Committee of ICAI and hosted by Ahmedabad branch of WIRC of ICAI. I request Purushottam Khandelwal sir, Central Council member, Sunil Sanghvi sir, Chairman of Ahmedabad branch, to escort our chief guest of the day, Aniket Sunil Talati sir, immediate past president of ICAI, and Debashish Mitraji, past president of ICAI, with a huge round of applause. Also request Neerav Agrawal, vice chairman, Chetan Jagetia, treasurer of Ahmedabad branch. I request all the members to rise up for the ICAI motto.
य एष सुप्तेषु जाग्रति य एष सुप्तेषु जाग्रति कामं 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 कामपुरुषो पुरुषो निर्विमाणः निर्विमाणः तदेव शुक्रं तद्ब्रह्मा तद्ब्रह्मा तदेवामृतमुच्यते तस्मिन् लोकः शतः सर्वे तदूनात्यपि कश्चन एतद्द्वैता
Now I request all the dignitaries on the dais and off the dais to join us for the lighting of the lamp. Request Manu Agrawal sir, Bishan Bhai, past chairman of Ahmedabad branch, Vikas Bhai, regional council member, Samir Chaudhary, managing committee member, Niren Nagri sir, to please be on the dais for the lighting of the lamp. Past chairman of Ahmedabad branch, BG Thakkar sir, please.
नमस्ते शारदे देवी काश्मीरपुरवासिनी त्वामहं प्रार्थये नित्यं विद्यादानं च देहि मे या श्रद्धा धारणा मेधा वाग्देवी विधिवल्लभा भक्तजिह्वाग्रसदना शमादि गुणदायिनी नमामि यामिनीनाथ लेखालङ्कृतकुन्तलां भवानीं भवसन्ताप निर्वापणसुधानदीं भद्रकाल्यै नमो नित्यं सरस्वत्यै नमो नमः वेदवेदाङ्गवेदान्त विद्यास्थानेभ्य एव च ब्रह्मस्वरूपा परमा ज्योतिरूपा सनातनी सर्वविद्याधिदेवीया तस्यै वाण्यै नमः।
Respected immediate past president of the ICAI, C. Aniket Bhai Talati, past president of the ICAI, C. Dr. Debashish Mitraji, Central Council member, C. Purushottam Khandelwal, On the dais, Vice Chairman of the branch, CA Neerav Agrawal, Secretary of the branch, CA Sunit Shah, Treasurer, CA Chetan Jagatia, past Central Council member CA Manubhai Agrawal, Regional Council member CA Vikas Bhai Jain, past Chairman of the branch CA Bisan Bhai Shah, Managing Committee member CA Rinkesh Bhai Shah, CA Samir Chaudhary, CA Abhinav Malavia, past Chairman of the branch CA BT Thakurji, CA Niren Bhai Nagri, and all senior members, friends present over here. Good morning, all of you. I welcome all of you on this National Conclave 2024, organized by CPE Committee ICAI, hosted by Ahmedabad branch of the ICAI, along with the co-host, the Ahmedabad study circles, that is Assam Road, Ellis Breeze, Gandhigram, Navjivan, Oda Bapunagar, Satellite CPE Circle. The registration, it was almost full for this auditorium, but for last 4 or 5 days, due to the bad weather conditions and heavy rains, I can see the less audience, but I'm thankful to all of you, those who are present over here. See, it was difficult for us also to change the venue in the last moment, and hence we have continued with this venue because certain commitments and all the things they were lined up, and it's not possible to change the venue for the last 3-4 days. We have beautifully designed this 2 days national conference, national conclave. We have today's the first session of C. Aniket Bittalati regarding basically how to expand what for the firms for the networking guidelines, what are the networking guidelines, how it will benefit it to the existing firms. The audit trail, which is applicable for this, what we are going to sign the balance sheet for this year, for the 2024. All the important topics we have taken. Tomorrow also on the income tax, we have the senior advocate Saurabh Soparkar for the GST. We have the from Delhi CA Bimal Bhai Jain, the advocate J.K. Mittal sir. I hope that these 2 days, it will be the great learning for you, and wishing you the happy learning for these 2 days. Thank you.
Sir, for setting the tone of this conference. Now I request Central Council member Purushottam Khandelwal sir to address the gathering.
Good morning. Immediate past president from our own city, Ahmedabad, C. Aniket Bhai Talati. Sir, welcome to the conference. Aniket Bhai Talati, whom with I working since 2010, from managing committee member to the president of ICAI. Under his leadership, ICAI has reached to new height. He was the main who was the instrumental in the CA India logo. ICAI Bhavan Ahmedabad, which is the biggest gift to the Ahmedabad members. India's largest building of the branch, even though there is no such building at HO also. So thank you for giving gift to the Ahmedabad. For member and student will always remember you. Past president of ICAI, Dr. Devasiji Mitra, under whom I started my articleship in the council. The first year of the council, sir, I learned a lot from you. He was the main under whom leadership, after 118 years, World Congress of Accountants has been completed in Mumbai. It was a wonderful event which is organized by the Dr. Devasiji Mitra. He was also instrumental doing the Ahmedabad branch building. He was inaugurated the foundation stone laying ceremony, and which is inaugurated by Aniket Talati. So in the same 1 year, they have lying the foundation station, and thereafter the Aniket is inaugurated the building. Chairman of the Ahmedabad branch, Sunil Bhai Sanghvi, who's doing a lot of works for the Ahmedabad, is organizing number of programs. Yesterday we were together in the orientation program for the newly qualified chartered accountant. There was a 500 members. Before 2 days we were planned to career counseling programs, but due to some heavy rain we could not complete these programs. Vice Chairman and very dedicated to the profession, CA Neerav Agrawal, Secretary Sunit Baisha, Treasurer Chetan, of the dais Vikas Bhai Jain, Regional Council Member, 2 past Chairman Niren Bhai Nagri, under whom I started my first journey in branch. I was a treasurer when Niren Bhai was a chairman of the Ahmedabad branch. BT Thakkar sir, past Central Council Member Manu Agrawal ji, past branch chairman Bishan Bhai Saab, Samir Bhai Chaudhary, Abhinav Bhai Malviya, Rinkesh Bhai was there, but now I am not looking that, and respected members. First off, I welcome all of you in this 2-day conclaves organized by my committee, CP. Due to the heavy rain in Ahmedabad, we got call from many members that the program is continue or cancel, because this program, the members registered across the Gujarat, someone Bhuj, Gandhidham, Rajkot, Jamnagar, but due to heavy rain in Saurashtra region, they could not come here. But we try our best to give the best faculty, best topic. बट नेचुरल क्लाइमेट तो सर किसके हाथ में नहीं है, कुदरत के हाथ में, जो हम भी कुछ नहीं कर सकते. हमने हमारी पूरी प्रयास किया कि अच्छे से प्रोग्राम को कर पाएँ. सर दिस ईयर आई एम वर्किंग एज ए चेयरमैन ऑफ CP कमिटी ऑफ ICAI, विच इज़ द मदर ऑफ ऑल द कमिटी. माई कमिटी this year come out with one dashboard. We are using the technology. Currently, there are 176 branch in India, 5 regional council, and 2 center of excellence. All these units are doing a different program for the different members' interest. But there is no single window where you can go and watch that which branch is organizing which programs. So you have to scroll all the 176 branch. But this year we are coming with one dashboard where the all 176 branch with 2 Center of Excellence and 5 regional council will list programs on the single window. All of the proposals, it may be for income tax, audit, GST, company law. So you can go and register from single window. You have not need to be a single from separate window, and you can attend your programs organized across the country. So this is the one initiative. On the other, we are coming with the attendance mark systems. I'm not saying about the biometrics. We have full faith on my members, but because of the sake of conveniency and real-time updation, we are coming with one app where we will display code on the auditoriums and you will get link. And when you click the link and you put the code number, you will get the real-time CP. So this is the programs. Another, sir, there was, I was a vice chairman of CMP committee when the Devasiji was the president of ICAI. They had given me this task. And that year we come out with office management software free of cost of worth rupees 20,000 to all the members. So those who have not downloaded the software, please go and download the software. This year, ICAI coming with AI in ICAI. Manu Agrawal ji here, I will not say much about this committee, but it is very, very important committee and member will be benefited because you cannot ask question to your peer, that question you can ask to computer and they will give you answer for you. So thank you so much for giving me an opportunity. Thank you for coming. Thank you so much.
Now I request Sunil Sanghvi sir and Purushottam Khandelwal sir, Central Council member, to felicitate Aniket Talati sir with a bouquet in a momento.
Yes, sir.
Now I request Sunil Sanghvi, sir, Chairman of Ahmedabad branch, to felicitate our past President of ICAI, CA Debashish Mitra ji. Even I am privileged to join him for this felicitation. Now I request Neerav Agrawal, Vice Chairman of Ahmedabad branch, and Chetan Jagatia, Treasurer of Ahmedabad branch, to felicitate Purushottam Khandelwal, sir, with a bouquet in a moment. Now it's time to hear our immediate past President of ICICI, Aniket Talati, sir. A big round of applause.
Thank you. I was slated to speak last, but then I realized when I looked at the M2M that they might have done it because I'm the immediate past president. So this is only 1 year where I get precedence before Dr. Mitra, but for entire life he's going to be my boss. He was my boss as the vice president when I was in the institute. So I said, let me start practicing, sir, for the years to come. You are my senior as a past president, and therefore I think it's important that you speak and have the final word. And more importantly, when he was the president, I always got the opportunity to speak before him. So we probably can also relive some of the good times that we had as president and vice president. Before I talk about Dr. Mitra, to my very dear friend, chairman of the branch, Mr. Sunil Sanghvi, and my dearest friend of Ahmedabad, Purushottam Bhai Khandelwal, both of whom you can see have a little bit of a gloomy face today. So I will start by addressing them and telling them that your role as chairman or council member, and having traveled the world, traveled India in so many branches, is to organize programs, is to invite the best faculty and to give the best facility. Nature is not in your hand. Who comes, who doesn't come is not in your hand. So have a big smile. You have done your job. We are here. We have Dr. Mitra who's come here from Kolkata. We have Manu Agarwal ji who's come all the way from Lucknow. You have so many other speakers. Dr. Mitra and myself, ever since we sat, we were observing these two, and both of us have been past chairmen, and we know how much pressure it is to fill up the hall so that the faculties that you have called, they don't feel embarrassed that humne inko bulaya or audience nahi tha. But I have learned one thing in life, and I think this is more on the spiritual side, but I think which has impacted me and helped me in performing my duties, is that when I sit on this side, somehow I've trained my mind only to look at the chairs which are full. And I'm so delighted that I'm seeing so many seniors, people like Niren Bhai Nagri, B.T. Thakkar Sahib, who we've respected, adored. In fact, I started my managing committee under your chairmanship, Niren Bhai. So I only look at the chairs which are full and not those which are empty. And I think that is one lesson we got when we were in the branch managing committee. A small deviation, but I would like to share this one occasion with all of you because it set the perspective for me going forward when I went to the region council, to the central council, and then eventually got elected as vice president and as president. We were organizing, Purushottam Bhai very clearly remember, Vikas Bhai would remember because he was also there in the managing committee, a program for CA Day. And we went to invite Brahmvihari Swami to speak. 1st of July, એટલે વરસાદ ચાલુ થશે કે નહીં આપણને ખબર ન હોય, અને અમે બ્રહ્મવિહારી સ્વામીને મળવા ગયા અને સ્વામીને કીધું કે સર, it's a big hall, 2,500 people. We have a cultural evening in the night, and we are confident that by that time people will be there. But when we have your session at 5 p.m., we are not sure how many people will come because some of them may come alone, then we have to go back home with their spouse and come for the CA Day celebration. So we don't know if A, people will come at that time, and B, because if rain start falling and water gets locked, it will be inconvenient for people to come. So Brahmvihari Swami simply smiled and said, first and foremost, તમે વરસાદની વાત કરી તો જીવ જંતુઓ પ્રાણીઓને પાણીની બહુ જરૂર છે, કેમ કે જે ઉનાળો ગયો છે અને જે ગરમી થઈ છે એ પછી તે બધા પાણીની રાહ જોવે છે. એટલે વરસાદ માટે કોઈ ચિંતા કરતા નહીં, ઉલટું આવે તો સારું છે. And second thing, so what he was saying is that if it rains, it's good because so many species are waiting after a long summer to have a monsoon. And the second thing he said was that the audience doesn't matter. Even if there is one person in the audience, I will come and deliver my lecture, because if the message is powerful, there is one speaker and one person in audience, the message will traverse the world. And he said, let me give you an example. Bhagavad Gita, one speaker, one audience. We still thousands of years later hear it, and we all practice and follow it and talk about it. I think that was such an inspiring statement. After that, wherever I've gone to speak, in the audience there are 5 people, there may be 50, there may be 500, or in the World Congress, as you would recollect, Dada, there were 10,000 people in the audience from 120 different nationalities. But I remain as I am, and like I said, I look at only the seats which are full. So my request to you, my two dear friends who worked very, very hard for this conference, Sunil Bhai and Purushottam Bhai, keep smiling. Your work and your effort was to organize this program. And for us as speakers, I think it's better we have a smaller crowd. We'll probably have a more interactive session for Dada, myself, and Manu Bhai when we interact. And more importantly, now with technology, at that time when Krishna spoke and Arjuna listened, there was no video recording. Yet we read it. Today, the entire session is being video recorded. And if there is something worthwhile in our discussion, I'm sure people online will find it and go back to it and reference it. So having said that, once again, thank you to the branch for inviting me and giving the opportunity to be here in the inaugural session and also speak on networking of firms. I think it's very important, a topic very close to our heart at the council, of how we can aggregate firms, make bigger firms in India. To the other team members of the Ahmedabad branch on the dais, the Vice Chairman Neerav ji, again very hard working, Secretary Sunit Bhai, Chetan Bhai, other managing committee members who are here, Samir Bhai, Rinkesh Bhai, I think past Chairman Bishan Bhai, who I saw, my colleague the regional council, and everybody else, the past chairmans and senior members. Let me just touch upon one or two small topics, because I'll come back with my technical session after this. First and foremost, about the experience that Purushottam Bhai mentioned when we entered the council. And I think these 3 years of the council, which began with Dr. Mitra as the, I don't think we need the PPT yet, because I'm going to take my session after this, so we can probably come back to the PPT later. One very important event occurred in the form of the World Congress of Accountants, and that was, of course, under the presidency of Dr. Mitra, where we got the opportunity to showcase to the world that it is the time for Indian accountants, it is the time for India. And what we are seeing successively after, it may have been the new course which was launched on 1st of July, it may have been the Glopac that we did in Gandhinagar. And again, I was privileged and thank my colleagues, both Purushottam Bhai and Vishal Bhai from Gujarat, who insisted that in 75 years history of ICAI, international conferences have happened in Delhi, Mumbai, Kolkata, Bangalore, Chennai, but never has an international conference for members happened in Gujarat. And they said, if it doesn't happen in your tenure, we don't know when it will happen. So we risked going to Gandhinagar at the convention center there, which is the Mahatma Mandir, and were delighted that we got more than 4,500 members to participate. But what this actually resulted into is, of course, the President of India coming on 1st of July to inaugurate the course, the Vice President Jagdeep Dhankarji and Piyush Goyalji coming at Glopac. But very importantly, on 12th of May last year, when the Honorable Prime Minister invited me to GIFT City, what the World Congress did is set the ball and rolling in motion of how the world perceives India, Indian chartered accountants, and how government also recognizes the importance and the perspectives that are there with Indian chartered accountants and Indian CA firms. The Prime Minister way back in 2017, when he was addressing us, mentioned about why today in the world there are only top accounting firms which are of foreign origin, but why can't there be a day in the future where the top 10 accounting firms, there are some Indian firms. And with this intention, he had convened the meeting on 12th of May where I met him. And that again started the process of GIFT City, where today within the IFSC zone, financial services are permitted. Financial services across the world, go to any free zone which is a financial service center, go to the UAE, go to Singapore, go to Mauritius. Financial service will typically mean what? Banking, insurance, stock markets. But India is the only country where after this meeting and because of the push of the government, the financial services definition has now been changed. The financial services definition in IFSC includes today BATF, bookkeeping, accounting, taxation and forensic services. So India is the first country which has recognized our profession as a financial service provider. And I think that augurs very well, gives the right kind of importance and attention to our profession. And with the exemption that the government is offering in IFSC, anybody who wants to set up a foreign practice, if you set up your practice in GIFT City in IFSC, for 10 years out of any 15 years of your choosing, so it can be 1st to 11th or it can be 4th to 14th year, your entire income is exempt. And this kind of benefit that the government is giving, besides there being no indirect taxes in the free zone, I think huge opportunity lies in front of us. That is the topic that I'm going to speak to you about on networking. Let us all try and see that how we utilize conferences like this to meet each other, to see if we can find like-minded people, to grow our practices and to fulfill the dream of the Honorable Prime Minister of creating large-scale Indian firms originating from India. With this, I will not take much of your time since I think we have to hear Dr. Mitra as the chief guest, and also I will have the opportunity to come back to you for a more interactive session when I would like to hear your thoughts, your challenges, where you feel issues are there in terms of coming together of firms and creating large-scale networks or firms. Thank you very much and wish all of us all the very best.
Thank you so much, Aniket sir. It's always been pleasure to hear you and the way you connect with the members, always sharing some new thoughts and the new upcoming fields that are coming up in the profession. Thank you so much. Now it's time to hear our past president of ICAI, Debashish Mitra sir, with a huge round of applause.
The immediate past president of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, Aniket Talati, Central Council member Purushottam Khandelwal, the chairman of this great branch, I was told 14,000 members, Sunil Sangvi, the vice chairman Neerav Agarwal, Chetanji, Sunilji, and of course Vishan, who is sitting here in front, and the past chairman, the seniors, a very, very good morning to all of you. Whatever I say, I'll see, 2 or 3 compartments. I'll first of all speak about maybe it's the last time I'll speak in Ahmedabad. Right, so you see, I'll speak about my memories, my last time in the sense that, you see, when I'm in the council. Maybe it's in the future, but when I'm in the council. And my memories of this branch, then I'll speak about Purushottam, then Purushottam Bhai, and then the great Aniket Talati. But first of all, my memories of this branch. I did not have much interaction with this branch till I became the president of the institute. And along with me, the gentleman who became the vice president happened to be from Ahmedabad. So there was this felicitation program, and he was telling me that, sir, the chief minister of Gujarat will come for your felicitation. Now, never did I think that the chief minister of Gujarat will come for the felicitation of the president ICAI. Right, I've seen felicitation programs in Calcutta, elsewhere. I did not see the chief minister coming. So I thought that he was pulling my leg. सोचा थोड़ा उम्र में ज़्यादा इसको थोड़ा ये किया जाए. Right, so then I came here and then I found a huge crowd. What was the venue, Aniket? Yes, huge crowd. And after some time, arrives the Chief Minister of Gujarat. You see, my first impression of Ahmedabad branch, that you see, they can think so very big. Right, so see, I thought that, oh God. And then I recall that when I was writing my page in the Chartered Accountants thereafter, I only wrote about this experience that I had. It was a fantastic experience. And then came the building, right? Purushottam Bhai says this is the biggest building, it's the biggest branch building, right? So see, it was in the later part of my tenure, and then I had the opportunity of laying the foundation stone. And when I see the building today, and when we had the inauguration of the building, such a huge infrastructure. Can you believe it? Today, I am the chairman of our COE committee in Calcutta. We are putting up the COE in Calcutta, the COE Center of Excellence. We hope to inaugurate this in the month of January. We hope that Aniket Talati, Purushottam Khandelwal will all be there. But every time we move on this, and I'm hands-on on that, we are always referring to Ahmedabad branch. What did they do with this? What did they do with that? Talking to Purushottam Khandelwal at times, talking to Aniket Talati at times, right? So you see, Ahmedabad branch has had profound influence on me, the way I think, the way I do. And let me tell you how proud I am that you see that, I am associated with a branch as large as yours and as forward-looking as yours, right? So see, it's been my proud privilege. I said Purushottam Khandelwal at first and then Aniket Talati after that. When I became the president, in came Purushottam Khandelwal. Now, I knew him before, but didn't know what he thought and what were his thoughts and things like this. I was to watch him and do this. Then, you see, in the examination committee, you get people who you think, because examination is one of the biggest pillars of our institute, right? So you try to get people who you think will be reliable, chhed-chhad nahi karega, right? So in came Purushottam Khandelwal. And at that time, it so happened that there was, from one center, there was this complaint of unfair practices having been done. I needed an inquiry to be done at that time. Did not speak to Aniket Talati because I know that Aniket Talati, related party, so did not speak to him so much, but I took an independent call that let me try to see how does he do. And sent Purushottam Khandelwal along with a government nominee for the investigation. And let me tell you, the way he investigated and the way he gave the report, I knew that the detailing that he did was fantastic, right? And then subsequent to that, today he chairs the CP committee. And when you have this kind of topic like bridging knowledge, shaping future, I think he does such. The CP committee is one of the heart of our profession. Because, you see, one of the uniqueness of our profession is how much updated we are. And this updation of knowledge is ensured by the CP committee, right? And Purushottam Khandelwal plays such an important role in that. I have seen him over a period of 3 years, making statements in the council, expressing his thoughts in the council. And I noted, and even Aniket Talati knew him from long before, I noted that all his intrusions, all his thoughts were for the betterment of the profession. So let me tell you, you have got such a good council member from Ahmedabad in the council and doing so well and ensuring that, you see, the pride of Ahmedabad branch is intact. Yesterday I was in Lucknow and Aniket Talati was also in Lucknow. I was making a public statement that the World Congress of Accountants would not have been successful if Aniket Talati would not have been the Vice President of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. Yesterday I said this and I stand by that statement, right? His vision and the way I saw it, I gave him a free hand, right? But whether I influenced him, and I still don't know whether I influenced him or not, or whether he would have done it otherwise. And because I want to link that with something else that I'm going to say, and why you should be all so proud of him. Never before in the 100-year history of more than 100 years history of World Congress, that in the inaugural session or the vote of thanks, anybody had spoken extempore. Everybody, you will find that if those of us who had attended World Congress, you will find that the IFAC president and everybody was speaking from prepared text. Now, I and the vice president at that time, Aniket Talati, we sat down. What to speak? I suddenly told him that, Aniket, why don't you speak extempore? His first reaction was, what does this guy say? Right? So you see, because the risk was heavy, the finance minister was going to be there, the speaker was going to, and the world was, you see, watching you. The risk was very, very heavy. But then in him I found a person who caught on with the idea. The risk-taking ability, that's what we are saying. You see, Garuda the eagle, we always say Garuda the eagle is fearless, Garuda the eagle is innovative. We say that, right? And then we both said, let us be fearless, let us be innovative. And both of us, we went in the World Congress. I delivered the, inaugural address, totally extempore. People, they said, you will freeze, your legs will shake, and you will make not only a mess of yourself, but you will make a mess of the profession. Right? But he was there encouraging me, never telling me, sir, शायद हम लोग को पढ़ना चाहिए, इतना रिस्क नहीं लेना चाहिए. Or use a teleprompter, sir. He never said that. He only said, where do you end and where do I begin? I said that I will end at Atithi Deva Bhava, and from there you start off with the vote of thanks, if he recalls. And we just synchronized it. We used to talk about bids, both of us. Bids means when you speak, you structure. Iska baad mein ye aayega, iska baad mein ye aayega, iska baad mein. Mentally you structure. We'll both talk bids mein kya hai and this thing, and we will both, you see, those things were both for both of us. Right? And thank God, things went off well. But then he picked it up from there. And let me tell you the next story. Why I think Aniket Talati has done very, very well. You see, prime ministers, presidents, finance ministers will come and go. But here I talk about the finance minister. It was the income tax day in Delhi. Aniket Talati was the president of the institute. He was given 3 minutes time to speak. I was not present there. But I read it in the papers, and that's why I'm more proud of it. Somebody else wrote about it. And you see, he shared the video. Now, sitting was all the top brass of the income tax department, including the honorable finance minister. And speaking before her, let me tell you, is not an easy task. The best of people, they find it very difficult to speak before her, because how to handle. But here was Aniket Talati given 3 minutes time. He said that income tax department has now gone from investigation. I'm sure when they talk about investigation, the Madam Finance Minister would have been a bit worried. She said from investigation to innovation and to being inclusive. In 3 minutes' time, he said this. We all presidents say a lot of things. But the best was when the finance minister went on to speak, she was quoting Aniket Talati. That was the biggest recognition, I think. She was quoting Aniket Talati. Bale, Aniket, you see, said that this, I agree. You see, for all of us who had heard this story, our hearts filled with pride that at least our president, the finance minister, is quoting our president, right? And that too in a live program. You see, so all of you should be so proud that from this branch there was Aniket Talati who went on to become the president of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. You see, all of you should be so proud. It's been my proud privilege to have worked very closely with him in 1 year when I was the president and when he was the vice president. I would not like to speak too much about the profession except to say that the profession is changing very fast. And all of you, this branch, I will not say this to other branches because maybe I will not strike a chord. When the immediate past president talks about aggregation of CA firms, I think this is the place where he should talk about, right? Because all of you are so forward-looking in your thoughts. He was talking about the gift city. Now, if he talks about the gift city in a place like Guwahati, he may not get a crowd, or he may not get people to understand him. But here, if he talks, you see, he'll find a receptive audience to hear him. So let me tell you, as you go ahead in the future, what is going to happen is technology is going to, when Manu Agarwal speaks about technology, You see, he's done so much of work in the institute. 6 years I saw him working so hard as a council member, and technology is going to be a part of our life. We cannot. Those of us who are seniors, and I've been a senior myself, let me tell you, we just have to change, just have to shift. Today, after breakfast, I was talking to Manu Agarwalji, asking that, you have an audit tool software, where does it do? Can you give me a demo for that, right? So you see, those are the things we all have to mentally shift, sir. Because he was speaking about AI, AI is a reality. And how the AI will change us, AI, all the repetitive work that we do today will be all done by AI. And once it's done, the standard on sampling may not be very relevant, because it will be a situation of 100% checking. The way we do audit is going to change. Yesterday I was speaking in Lucknow, non-financial reporting will become a bit more important than the financial reporting. So those of us who think that carbon emission and all these things, greenhouse and all these things are not a cup of tea, let me tell you, if you feel so, maybe you will not be part of the mainstream of the profession which is going to evolve. Forensics is going to be such an important area. The other day, this gentleman, Aniket Talati, in the council, he was saying that we have a FAFD course. He was presenting before the council that can we make it a diploma course because of the importance of forensics. What he is doing, we have got 20 forensic standards. He is going all over the country to popularize them. The other day, he had a meeting in Mumbai before the banks and everybody saying that, you see, adopt our forensic standards. What is happening today is, we are shifting. Telling the profession, giving a nudge. We cannot push the profession. We can only nudge the profession. Giving the profession a nudge that, boss, it is time that you went into forensics. Somebody in Calcutta was speaking about 5 days back, in which Aniket was also there. Somebody said, Debashish, you are speaking 3,000 people. Well, you are talking about forensics. Are we guys capable of doing forensics? Have you been taught how to do forensics? What you're talking about forensics? He was telling me, in a crowd, he stood up and started saying that in a question answer. I said, 2017, when GST was introduced, how many of us sitting here were indirect tax professionals? I said, in 2017, most of us were direct tax professionals. What happened to us? We found an opportunity, adapted ourselves. And overnight, we became indirect tax professionals, right? That's what has happened. The same thing is going to happen to forensics, right? There's a huge opportunity there. There's a huge opportunity there, and I think we should grab these opportunities with both our hands. The profession is changing, but I think we are a special breed of professionals, which is adaptive and which is always, innovative. Always willing to embrace challenges, and in every challenge is there, we see an opportunity. That's the way we do things in the profession. At the institute, let me tell you, people like Purushottam Khandelwal, who will be there, I and Aniket Talati will not be there in the next council. You see, they are working so hard to see that the flag of the profession and the flag of the nation is kept flying very, very high. Thank you very much for inviting me.
Thank you so much, Debashish Mitraji, sir. It's always again a pleasure listening you, and thanks a lot for appreciating Ahmedabad branch with such kind of expressions that you give that actually compels us and inspires us to do much more for the branch. And sir, you were here when you were the president, you were here when you were immediate past president, you are here when you are the past president. But sir, even if you are not in the council, you will always be called here because ab aadat si lag gayi hai. So it will be a pleasure calling you again and again. Thank you so much, Aniket Talati sir, for coming here, giving your time and presence. Thank you all the members for attending this event, inaugural event, and followed by the 2 days conclave that will be happening. And we'll be again immediately starting with the session, first session, with the immediate change of dice.